Hi everyone, welcome to the ttff 20 industry events and thank you so much for joining us. This year our first film program will be screened online from September 9th to 15th with our new media exhibition installed at the Medulla Art Gallery in Woodward, Port of Spain. If you are joining us via Facebook Live, feel free to post all of your questions in the comment section below and we'll address them during the session. Don't forget that you can check out our full film listing at the film bundles at online.ttfilmfestival.com. We'd like to thank all of our TTFF 20 sponsors and partners. TTFF 20 is given leading sponsorship by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, contributing sponsorship by Republic Bank Limited, with Shell Trinidad and Tobago Limited supporting TTFF 20 online industry events. So, thank you all for joining us here today, Sagnik, Nayibe, and Duda.
Well,
Hi. Sagnik, I'd like to ask you first about your film. Looking at your film, to me, it seemed really it was about a story of moving on. So, tell me, why did you feel like it was necessary to capture that and express that, a story about moving on?
the thing was that I always believe in making good films. The thing is that I got to know about the festival, and Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival is quite a renewed one, and it's a renowned one, and it's known basically in a worldwide basis. Where I got to know it from a film preview, and I decided to actually submit my film to your festival. And it's actually, I am really grateful to the festival jury as well as the festival members for selecting my films to the festival.
Thanks, Sagnik. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your film and why you chose to
Sorry?
capture that? Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your film and why you want to
Yeah,
express?
yeah, surely. My film, the 10 rupee note, is basically my debut film. Actually, the film was shot in the year 2016. At that time, I used to be reading in the college, whereas right now I am actually working in a multinational company. So there lies a basic difference. So to be very precise, that was basically my first film. Obviously, you can understand from that, I always have got a different sentiment, and it's obviously for all the filmmakers, I believe that the first film is always uh, uh, captures a different part of your actually memory. So obviously, I do recollect many memories from that, and that was since I said you right now. It was basically my first film. So after that, gradually I learned many things. It was as a whole. That was basically the beginning of the journey for me. So 10 rupee note is always a very special one for me in my heart.
Thanks, Agni. So this was your first film.
Sorry.
This was your first film.
Yeah, that was my first film.
So, as Naive, while I thought that Sagnik's film was about a story of moving on, I felt like your story was more about the evolution of love. That's what I got from it.
Right.
Uh, Naive, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Naive?
Yes, I can. I have a really bad connection. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm
It's
far
fine.
from home. Can you repeat the question, please?
No, I said that I felt like your story was a story a lot about the evolution of love that you had for your grandmother. That it was your grandma, your great grandmother or great great grandmother who pledged eternal love in 1916. And more than a century later, you created this film that was about her, but also about you. So I wanted to know, Naive, a little bit about how you felt. What was your process of making this film like? And did you think that you would be as involved in the story as Carmen was?
So I agree with you that it's a love story. It's a love story also to film itself. Part of the research we did for the 16 millimeter short film in the documentary was, going back to Buster Keaton, Chaplin. We had physical training with our bodies, the actors that played with me. and going back to pantomime. And it was also for us, it was why we started doing this too. The magic and the tricks, using film to disappear someone who was before your eyes. So, but also the love that we share as humans, and how it's as complicated today as it was 100 years ago. So I think we have a lot to learn from the past, in only when we use it to work and change the present.
Duda, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, Duda, I love your film very much. It was the first film I saw today, actually. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
And it was the first film I saw today, and it put me in a good mood for the rest of the day, because I think your film beautifully captured some beautiful elements of humanity that I think is so important to share, especially in these times that we are living right now. These beautiful parts of humanity, I think, is necessary to be shown, because it can help inspire and motivate people, help get them through their day. It certainly did for me. So I just wanted to know a little bit, in your process of making this film, how much of the film, I'm getting feedback. Yeah, sorry, in your process of making the film, Duda, how much of the style of the film was dictated by the personalities of the people who would become the characters in your film, and how much of it was pre-planned before you decided to shoot film?
First of all, I'm very, very happy that you liked it and that it touched you in some way, because these characters, these people are really people who exercise that and that joy like every day and bring joy to others. So it's very nice to hear that from you, that you were happy and everything. So the film, it's a documentary, but it has like a script. It's sort of a hybrid movie, and that script was based on the lives of these people, on what they do for a living and their habits and their style and the songs they like to sing. And it was like something that was constructed in our experience together. Like I was in contact with them for sort of a long time, and we were getting to know each other and everything. So the script was based on their real lives. It was like the substance of it. And it's amazing, like what they do every day. That sort of way.
Yeah, I felt like I knew it was a bit scripted, but I felt their performance seemed very authentic. It seemed real. They seemed to be showing their real personalities on screen. And what was your process of getting to know them, like, and bringing out their true personalities? Because sometimes when you have a camera and someone, their personalities can change. And in this film, it was very scripted, so it would have been easy for them to go too over the top and act too much, but they seem to find a beautiful balance of bringing something real and authentic. So what was your process of directing them like?
Oh, that's again nice to hear, because it was actually a bit tricky, because the camera is a weird object, and they did change a bit in the front of the camera, because I don't know, like many of these places, these karaokes are their actual homes. So you get in there with all these people and all the equipment and everything. But I think what makes it sort of natural is because we developed a friendship and a sort of confidence, really, and like a very open relationship of telling things, and it kind of makes you sensitive to these manners and everything. So I think that might be why they seemed comfortable and they felt comfortable, because we became friends, really. And which is amazing. Like it's better than the actual film that came out of it, like all the relationships and sort of these other outcomes of the whole process and everything.
And what was their reaction like after they saw the film?
They liked it very much. Like they liked the film and everything, but the construction of the script and the editing and everything, it's not like a linear film. So and it's a short movie as well. So one of the characters, the one in the end, that not in the very end, but that sings with her husband, she thought the movie was too short. and because it is a weird like structure, so they felt they liked the movie, but they felt like, oh, why is that, does that thing happen here and everything. But it's been a very like welcoming and loving, they had a very loving response, and it's very nice to see them in the screen, like because yeah, they really are like extraordinary performers and stuff, and they are like stars in a daily basis. So it's nice to see like to see themselves looking at them in the screen. Gives a satisfaction.
Thanks, Duda. And Sagnik, what was your experience like directing actors for the first time? How did you get them to express the emotions that you wanted them to express in your film?
To be quite precise, if you have actually seen my film, you would actually get to understand. It was actually quite a very tough role for me, because I was actually I was actually directing in one part. On the other hand, I was even in one of the main role, lead role over there. So it always becomes a tough part when you are actually both directing as well as acting. But yeah, I learned so many things out of that thing, and I'm really feel quite proud that I had a very good team and a very supportive team. The cast and the crew members were really supportive, and yes, for that reason, I think that I probably did make one of the best films of my life, and that was basically the 10 rupee note.
Nayibe, can you hear me a little better now?
Yes, I think I can hear you better now.
Okay, so it's okay. I wanted to ask you, as I think I was asking you a little bit earlier, did you think that you would enter the film's narrative as much as you did initially, or did you think that your film would have remained up just about Carmen?
Do I believe that the narrative that I would have started with a different, I didn't understand your question, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Yo quería saber si tú pensaste que tú entrabas en la película o solo quedaba sobre Carmen.
Okay. So how that came up, I used to have very long hair, and we found my cousin who's not in the film, Mari Carmen, she's the one who kept all the files, all the archives. She had a diary and she had a ton of pictures. And when I came to visit, she showed them to me, and there was this astonishing picture of my great grandma, and our physical resemblance was amazing. So with my cousin Mamika, who was the art director and production designer for the short film in 16 millimeter, I don't know, it was a very fun film to create, because it was like a game that we were doing with family members. My other cousin Nicole was the one who did wardrobe, so we used her great grandma's dress, and so from the get-go we knew that I was going to be in the film. And then when my film school friends became involved as the crew members and also the actors, it was, you know, let's tell the story about this person who was alive 100 years ago, but through ourselves and how we see ourselves today in them. Can you hear me okay?
I heard you.
Horrible connection.
I heard you fine. Thanks, Nayibe. No, I felt it was, I think that's true because as people, we try to immortalize things so much. And your grandmother, well, your great-grandmother, Carmen, wrote these love letters, this declaration of love in 1916. And you as well, I think, in a certain sense, you are trying to do the same with this film. You're trying to immortalize something that you believe is that should be immortalized. So why do you think that?
That's what we do.
Exactly.
That's why we do photography and film, and we record things that we think are important. We used to do it in writing, and now in 20th and 21st century, we have so many instruments to document and preserve what we believe should be preserved. One of my cousins who appears in the film, Monica, the scene where we're reading the diary, Nicole says, but don't you guys feel bad reading this person's private diary? And what Monica says is, whenever you write something, you want to preserve it, you know. So if she wrote it, she wanted someone to read it.
Do you think in the next century, one of your family members will make a film about you? I think your mic is off.
I don't know.
Okay. I think, in a certain sense, all three of your films were connected by something special, which is love. And I think all three of your films were sharing different aspects of love. With Sagnik, I got the sense that it was more about learning to let go. With Nayibe, it was more about immortalizing something ephemeral. With Duda, I think yours was the most creative, I think, in terms of the way you blended scripted and documentary. So Duda, I just wanted to know a little bit. Duda, can you hear me fine?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, in your process of making the film, because a lot of it was very stylistic, and I saw a lot of your personality come through, especially in the past that looked like a contemporary 80s music video in some aspects to me. Did you think about this style before you made the film, or was it based on the personalities of those that you represented in the film?
I think it was, I started the process before I wrote the film, obviously, because it was built like along the process. So I think like the two things got mixed up, like I was influenced by them, and then I would think things that would suit their personality. So it was kind of a blend between the two. And I had also like a wish of making a reflexive film about what it means to make an image. So I wanted to sort of like expose the fakeness of it, like what it means to have a camera pointed at someone and to have a script and things like that. So I wanted to play with the language a little bit too.
Yeah, I think you did that really well. You played with the language. It felt original in your execution. So do you think it's something that you will be incorporating more in your future work?
I don't know actually, because I think it was a very specific like will to do that. It was it came really from what I was living at the moment and experiencing and getting to know these people and everything. So I think it was a bit specific, but and now we are in a time that I don't know when I'll be able to get out of my house again and shoot. So everything around me has changed, and the I don't know, like the motivations of filming things, behind filming things are changing as well. But I do like that idea of like mixing things up and putting some like what's constructed, what's came out of it, like what's reality and everything. So I like this sort of mixture.
Thanks, Duda. And Nayibe, do you think that your future work will be, how connected were you to the process of autoreferential filmmaking? Do you think that is something that you'll be incorporating more in your future work? Or do you haven't planned something different?
So for now, I think I will, because I have a project that is in production, also a documentary, but it's a feature film. At the film school I went to, Chabon Film School in Santo Domingo. It's a school of design that just recently opened a film school. And there's a lot of courses and there's a lot of projects on autoreferential and, you know, how we think about films, and basically point the camera at yourself before pointing it at others. And the other project that I'm working on is about my grandpa, so Carmencita's son, Freilang, who was president of the Central Electoral Board and who was a very well-known lawyer and law professor. In 1990, Joaquin Balaguer was president, and basically my grandfather's electoral board was accused of fraud. And so it's a film about my research as his granddaughter, but also as a filmmaker trying to understand the past and trying to understand how, just a second. I'm sorry guys, in my room I had a very bad connection. I'm working and this is a hotel. So yes, definitely gonna involve autoreferential. I think, especially when you come from a position of privilege, it's your place to tell the story of your country when you come from places in the Caribbean where we had dictatorships and political repression that hasn't been healed generation after generation. So yes, definitely gonna integrate it for the future. I am so sorry about the noise.
No, it's fine. Thanks, Nayibe. Sagnik, do you have any future projects in mind? What do you think about it now?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
I'm actually basically doing working right now with 2 more projects, which are actually in the pipeline, to be very precise. And out of them, one is actually on the post-production right now. So yeah, obviously I'm looking forward to more projects. And obviously, you know, as being a filmmaker, it's obviously you actually dream to actually achieve what actually you target to. And yeah, I have actually many targets right now which I need to be fulfilled. And I guess, yeah, there are many more projects right now in my pipeline. And currently I'm basically working on 2.
Thanks, Sagnik. I just wanted to go back to something in your film, Nayibe, that I love. It was a quote by Truffle. Movies will resemble the people who made them because the cinema of tomorrow will be an act of love. So thank you for sharing that, Nayibe. And I think that all of your movies share that in a certain sense. And I wish you all the best. Is there any questions or anything anyone else would like to say before we go? Duda?
I think everyone's a bit shy.
That's fine. So, Nayibe, you want to talk a little bit about that? Why you incorporated that last line by truthful?
So the phrase is, you know, in the future, that's how people are gonna make films. And now that all of us, every single, like, most people have a cell phone with a camera, a smartphone with a camera, and now it's very easy to edit a film. There are many apps. Even if you don't use something professional, you can edit the things you shoot, right? And film before digital was something that was reserved for the privileged, and now anyone, you know, we have cinema and we have filmmakers who make films, but anyone can tell their story if they can record it and edit it. And maybe that's what Truffaut was, you know, small films with your friends.
Thanks, Nayibe. I think it's true.
You make it something very intimate.
And all of your films were. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you.
I do have a last thing to say.
Yeah, sure.
What Nayibe said reminded me that this movie would have never, like, ever been done without the help of a federal university I went to, which is Federal Fluminense University, UF. Universidade Federal Fluminense. I don't know how to say it in English, but it really, people are very, I don't know, like, I've seen a lot of filmmakers and student filmmakers here in Brazil making very interesting and creative movies, and it's only possible with the aid of the university that lends us the equipment and gives us, just lending the equipment is basically like everything you spend, and people work, like, they cooperate with each other, like everybody did that for free, and I work for free in other movies and everything. So it's a very valuable thing that we can, that I feel like I need to touch that every time I talk about the movie, because it really would have never happened. Like, a movie is just too big and too expensive and everything. So it's very precious to have that here, like that support.
I can say the same thing about my school. And also, the beauty of documentary is that sometimes the people you make it with, they become your family. And I actually did this with the help of my family and also Chabon School of Design. So yeah, it's a beautiful experience when you share making a film with your friends and people you trust and people who are there, not only for the money, but also for telling this story and making this film.
I do actually agree with both of them, actually. And I would really like to thank all of my team members and my crew members of the whole team of the 10 Rupees Note for this one. As I told you in the earlier stages also, that I actually made this film when basically I was like a student. I used to read in the college. So it's obviously quite interesting while you're making a film with your friends. So yeah, it's kind of like a nostalgia for me when I'm actually standing at this juncture of the age right now. So I can actually feel that nostalgia right now. So yeah, on the other hand, I would really like to thank each and every one of you for actually each and every one of the members of Trinidad and Tobago Festival for actually selecting my film. And on the other hand, I would actually request each and every viewer to actually kindly view the films. Not only my films, I would even ask each and everybody to view each and every film, as I believe that making a film is quite a tough job, and we, the filmmakers, actually make a film just in order to make sure that we are being able to entertain the viewers. So I would obviously request each and every viewer to actually share their views for our film, and all the best to all the teams, and may the best team win. That's the thing.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Sagnik.
about what Sagnik said, it's really like, it's almost a miracle, like how a film comes out with such little resources. Like, it's just I don't even have like words to thank everyone, because it's really, it's heavy work, and it's visceral, and people do it for love, really, and it's just like amazing how people, and it's just people that make things come out, things that would have, like, by chance and statistics wouldn't happen. So it's incredible, like what happens with low budget films.
Thanks, Duda. Thanks, Sagnik. Thanks, Nayibe. Thank you for sharing your films, and the impact was truly felt. Keep on making films and keep on sharing them. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.